And we're coming back to you live from the duck pond. I'm Sean.
And I'm Zach.
How's it going, Zach? Tell me, give me the lowdown and the highdown.
I've just decided I just don't have the energy for this semester. And it's like, I don't know what it is, but like my first class today, it just drains me.
Yeah.
Like I just sit there, but it drains me, and I don't know what it is. But
there are like some classes, I don't know why, but they just like hit different. You know what I mean? It's just like you don't even have to be interacting. It just pulls something from you.
Right.
Just like yoinks it right out your butthole. And there's nothing you can even do about it.
It's just gone.
It's just gone.
I think what made today even worse was that he just started randomly calling on people, and of course he called on me. They were just like, "You've never done this before. What made you think today was the day?" Like,
he woke up this morning. He looked in the mirror and he said, "Today is the day you're getting student participation. Let's do this." And then he high-fived the mirror, which actually broke it because that's how mirrors work. And he got 7 years bad luck, and this is the 8th time that's happened within the past 3 months. So
that's
he's in
crazy.
For it.
So he's just projecting his problems onto his students now. Is that it?
Yeah. Imagine like the 7 years bad luck thing from mirrors like breaking, like it always adds up, right? So if you do it twice, you have 14 years, right? But you just keep having bad luck. Right,
and you keep breaking
mirrors because of the bad luck.
Your entire life
it just becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy of broken mirrors and bad luck.
You can never escape the cycle. It's just like samsara.
It is just like samsara. Just like life, man.
Just like life.
All we really want is to be liberated from this life
of broken mirrors.
Smoke and Mirrors. That's a Imagine Dragons album.
Thank you, Sean, for that.
I was like, Broken Mirrors sounds familiar. And then I was like, wait, I know why it sounds familiar. It's because the word mirror is in it.
So, Sean, I have a story.
Please.
Before we actually get into what I want to talk about.
Oh, wow. You're all kinds of prepared today, huh?
I mean, kind of, not really.
Isn't it so cute when Zach is prepared?
It's just
it's
more me complaining that a good thing happened.
I'm not going to hold up the camera, but look at him, guys. He's so cute.
I'm like throwing him back on the bed. Like,
I like how we're both like leaned back, like half asleep.
So, yesterday was Valentine's Day.
I remember it.
I could not have cared less.
Understandable.
For me, it was just another Monday.
It's a Monday. Gotta do it one more time.
So in my comm class,
yes.
I sit next to 2 other people.
Congrats.
And like, we talk when we have to talk, and like we say hi to each other as we like come into class, right? But like, that's the extent of the relationship. And for some reason, her name's Harley. Mm-hmm. She decided she was gonna bring me and this other guy Valentine's, like a little Valentine's gift with some chocolates and stuff. And like the worst part was I sat down and she had him out on the desk already, and I was like, that better not be for me. I'm gonna be pissed. Like, don't do this. Don't do this. And then once the other guy gets down, it was like class had already started. And she's like, oh yeah, and these are for you guys. And of course the teacher like sees this happen. And I was just like, you just had to do this to me.
Why you gotta be so
And
rude?
The funny thing is, she already has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? Like, we barely know each other. What was, like, the reasoning here?
Well, she is opening up options.
Oh, yeah.
Her and her boyfriend on the decline.
Oh,
she sits next to 2 very attractive young men.
Well, there might be one.
Exactly. That's right.
Oh, shot 2 eyebrow flashes. Oh, no.
And she is just wanting to see who takes the bait. This is her, like, casting the rod.
Oh,
you know?
She's going fishing.
There's the bait. She put it down. Who's gonna bite? You gonna do a little nibble?
So the funny thing is, like, I don't think either of us knew how to react to this situation.
Perfect.
Cause, like, we just did. I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you! Like, that's so nice." And then
I love you
and
too.
then we just felt awkward for the rest of the class, and then it was fine. And then I forgot to bring my backpack when I got home, and so like, they're still like.
I wish so deeply that either one of you was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much. I love you."
See, the problem is,
I'm obsessed
maybe
with
if
you.
it was like the last day of class, I just felt in a troll mood, I would do that. But I have to see her again.
Yeah.
And like, it's kind of this expectation that we've been going over expectancy violation theory quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think I brought it up like last week.
Yes, I remember it.
And so there is this expectation that we're all going to sit next to each other next class still. And how awkward would it be if, like, the day after, like, she brings us Valentine's, I decide to sit on the other side of the classroom or something, right? Like,
just, thank you so much. That's so kind. I love your scent.
I love your scent. And then you sit on the other side of the classroom.
Yeah, and then you never sit next
for
to
the
them
rest of the
ever again.
semester. You probably get, like, called in after class or something. There would be.
It's like, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. You're like, oh, I was never uncomfortable around you.
Takes a deep breath through the nose. Could you? So like
I was always too comfortable.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that was my little story from yesterday. I thought it might be fun to share.
That's great. What type of candy was it? What was it? What was it specifically?
To be honest, I haven't even looked in it.
You treated that thing like I treated the bag of condoms that you gave me. She's like, okay, cool, thanks, and then never looked at it.
It was like I'll probably end up eating them, but like,
what if it's like perishable? She gave you like a little carton of milk.
okay, it wasn't milk. Like, it was like, I think it was like a little like Rice Krispie thing.
Oh sure.
And some little chocolates or something, but like, so I'll probably end up eating them. I was gonna
do this whole thing where depending on what type of thing she gave you, I was gonna go off on like how that proves some theory about how she feels about both of you. But honestly, it sounds like a lot of effort and thought, or lack thereof, but still effort.
Well, look, actually, the thing is, like, it would have been one thing if like they like just brought like a chocolate bar or something, like, yeah, like, you know, my class
but this
friends
is like
here.
made.
Like, it's like wrapped in like a pink bag. It has my name on it. Like,
Oh, shoot.
I'm like, you went through like actual effort to make
my
this.
My theory was she wanted to give it to one of her friends, but then her friends weren't around, so she was just gonna give it to you guys. But since your name is on it, that kind of.
And the weird thing is, it's spelt right.
Oh no! What a nightmare!
Well, no, like, there's like a million ways to spell Zach. I was just impressed that it was the right way. I was like,
a million ways.
Okay, it's not a million ways, but like it could have been
ZACH, which is you.
ZACK,
ZAC.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
SAK.
The thing is,
SZAK.
Anyways, I'm just amazed that there was clearly some thought behind this. So I guarantee the thought was, I should make some little things for the people in class that I talked to, right?
Yeah, that was it.
And that was it. But like,
no, I get it. Here's why I get it. Okay, so Allison's grandparents gets all of their grandchildren like Valentine's Day stuff. So since I'm there now, they got me something, and they got everyone like a heart-shaped box of chocolates, like you do, right? And we didn't actually see them; they just dropped them off. And Allison's mom gives it to us and was like, "This one's for you, Sean. They got it specifically for you because it has a bunch of records on it, and they know you like music." And I was like, they barely know me at all, and they like thought at least that little much, and I was like, that's nice. Like, they didn't need to at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like some weird insertion into this family.
I just inserted myself.
Exactly. So they didn't need to at all. So like, just the fact that they did is like, that's kind. It's weirder when it's like some random person in class, though.
Right.
Certainly.
Like that. Like, the thing is, like, I get it, but like, it's even less expected when it comes to just a classmate.
Well, there's zero expectation there.
Yeah.
There's zero.
So, I was thrown off guard yesterday by that, but.
So what are you gonna do in return?
probably say hi to her tomorrow
Get a
when I go to class.
Better a President's Day present.
President's Day. Here's no, spring break, and people are like, I made this for you.
Happy spring break. It's Irish spring soap. 'Cause spring.
It's like a little message that says, I miss you.
I miss us.
I miss what we had. Remember Valentine's Day? That was a connection.
I've noticed your scent has changed, so I tried to find the closest thing to your old one.
Oh my goodness. I knew if we get this story would lead to some fun stuff.
If that's
How
what
much
you
time
want.
do we have?
We've hit the 10-minute mark.
Oh, it's perfect.
I'll tell you what. Let me just say this before we move on.
Okay.
We've been going over the 10-minute mark for the past couple.
Have we
We've
really?
been doing 15 minutes of bullcrap. Which, I mean, I don't really care, obviously. I just thought it was funny
doing it,
that we're
so.
actually decreasing the size of actual content in these episodes.
I think we're at that kind of that point in Spice Days where we've been doing it for so long. It's just like whatever happens, and we're okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was already that way from the beginning.
I mean, yeah.
But
Well, I don't
even
know.
more so.
Like, it's gone through phases. I feel like semester 1 we were really trying.
That's true, because like, I would be like, oh, I have to have something to talk about.
Semester
right?
2 was the drop in motivation, and then by like semester 3 and 4, we'd kind of fallen into just like, we were just talking.
Yeah.
We kind of forgot there was a show going on.
You're not wrong.
And semester 5 probably happened. There's maybe evidence of it.
One thing I want to do is like go back, like once Spicy Nuggets has like concluded.
Oh wow! So there's gonna be a conclusion.
Well, I mean, once we launch our new podcast.
Oh, spoilers. Okay.
And it just like go, cause like one thing I remember from the very first semester doing this was I was so uncomfortable just talking to
with
a
a recording
phone.
thing, yeah.
Like I was so uncomfortable with it, and like it shows. Like I've gone back and listened to a few of them, and I'm like, man, that's brutal. And like now it's like the phone's not even there for me. It's more I'm just talking to you and like getting thoughts out there. So it's kind of interesting that that's changed.
Yeah.
But
well, I always like noticing that because I think I like seeing how people interact when being recorded, because I spent so much time recording myself in high school without anyone knowing that it's interesting for me to see like both how I've changed with it and how other people change with it. Like for instance, Corby's streaming now, right?
Yeah.
It is incredible to me the difference, because I've been editing them, right? The difference between just the first and the second stream. Just those two. Like in the amount of energy Corby's bringing forward. I mean, to be fair, the first one he streamed for like 7 hours, so that's a lot of time.
Whew.
But like even still, like just the amount of energy that's there, the engagement, like it is like such a big difference just between the two, and he's only like getting better at it, in my opinion, you know. And it's been such like a short amount of time. I guess it's just like anything, you know. If you just keep doing something, you're gonna adapt in ways.
And I honestly do think it's a skill.
Oh,
like
yeah.
You wouldn't think it, like, especially like with what we're doing, like the phone's just kind of there, we're just talking to each other, right? But like it really is a skill.
I think what you're saying is we're just really talented, and people need to recognize that.
I don't get it enough. What can I say?
That's why you got that Valentine's Day chocolate. She's a Spicy Nuggs fan.
She's the mysterious viewer out in the void.
That should be your gift to her.
Oh my
It's just
gosh.
a URL to this episode.
Could you
where you
imagine?
tell this story and I say all these awkward things about her.
And I talk about how it was awkward.
Yeah,
and
and how you hated it.
She's gonna feel so bad. That'd be hilarious.
Anyway, shout out to whoever she is. I know you're listening. So.
Anyways.
Oh gosh.
I guess now that we've rambled even more.
Yeah.
I had this thought, and I've had this thought like bouncing around for a little bit. And that just came to me as I was actually walking to the park over the duck pond. Sorry, the
Dude,
duck
you're
pond.
so stuck on the park, man.
I know.
You need to get over her. You need to move on.
I'm so attached.
It's like a toxic relationship.
Just like ours.
Just like ours. What's toxic about using each other for personal gain? There's nothing toxic about that.
Sounds pretty good to me.
It's a mutual understanding that we're using each other for personal gain. So in that way, is it really using each other for personal gain?
I mean, I'm just here for the YouTube money at this point, but...
Sorry, go on.
Wow, it's gonna be a day.
I'm tired, man.
So, I wanted to talk about the idea of everything's been done before.
Yes.
And just whether... And just throw some ideas out of whether you agree or don't agree with it. Because I'm not really sure how I, feel on this subject. And I think a lot of it, and why I've been thinking about it a lot more recently, is because I've been getting into writing.
Yeah.
And it's like...
You see so many tropes. And...
Well, there's all these tropes, and it's like, I have this cool idea, and clearly this idea has been done before, right?
Yes.
Or even just taking a plot type, or the plot narrative, how you want to structure your story. There are literal guides of how to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a million different ones. But so when it comes to that, I was like, has everything been done before, right? And and if it has, does it even matter?
Can I tell you my first thought? It's kind of off of what you're talking
That's
about.
That's
fine. So there's this YouTuber. His name is Video Game Donkey. He's the most sarcastic piece of crap on YouTube, probably.
I know Donkey.
Have you seen his video, Originality in Video Games?
No.
It's not too long. It's just a bunch of it's a mashup of a bunch of other reviewers from IGN and stuff like that, just commenting on different games, just random games, and all of it is, this game is. It's impossible not to draw correlations with this in Breath of the Wild, or Dark Souls-like combat. It's just that for 4 minutes of just them saying it's like other games.
Okay.
Right. Every game can be equated to another game, right? And it's interesting that me and Corby were playing this game called Everhood, right? And as soon as we turned it on, I was like, oh, this is very much like Undertale, right? Just because of the style and stuff like that. But I think it's easy to focus on similarities like that. But if you're only seeing the similarities, you're also there's 100% going to be a ton of differences as well. It's like Undertale, even the combat, you're dodging things that are coming at you, but it's a rhythm game where you're dodging things that are coming at you, which is
right. This is a new twist on this.
Exactly.
And my thought process was, and I think what I kind of settled on is I don't think everything's been done before, and for that exact reason. There can be similarities between things, but, let's example, if you gave 5 different people the same, plot for a story and told them to write it, you would have 5 different stories.
Yeah.
And, yeah, the plot is going to be the exact same in the story.
So much will have changed.
But it's not going to be the same story. All of those 5 stories are new.
I saw a different video where they gave a single, just a 3 seconds of animation to a bunch of animators, where it's just this guy walking, no background, very vague proportions on the guy, and they just said, do something with that, right? And so it's this 15-minute video where it just keeps changing to show the different animators styles and what they did with it, and it's incredible, where it jumps from this gigantic space background with planets in the background, this guy walking across this broken world, and then it changes all of a sudden to this very flowery place, and this person just walking through, still still in the same posture, but just the amount of differences, even though it's given the same basic structure, and I think that's what it comes down to is with a lot of media today, whether that is books, whether that is video games, movies, there's structures that have been built.
Yeah.
And so when you see the same structure, you immediately know some things about it, right? When you go into a Pixar movie, you probably know some things about what are going to happen, right? Versus when you go into a Marvel movie, you know some things that are going to happen, right? But that doesn't mean that it's exactly the same as other things that have come before, right?
And I would even argue that these like structures, like plot structures and things, I don't even think that all of those, like, I think there's a million more to be created of those.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I'd say in, like, just a couple hundred years, like, the normal idea of, like, a fantasy book, or, like, the popular structure of a fantasy book will be completely different than what we have today. And I wouldn't be surprised by that. And so I think to say that everything has been done before is kind of crazy.
Well, you think about it this way. Right now, like, kind of the basic fantasy idea is very medieval, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, you talked about skipping forward a couple hundred years. It'll be...
What is fantasy?
Yeah, exactly. Will it be very novel to write about our age right now?
Right.
With fantasy?
Like, is this going to be considered medieval?
Exactly,
to some
right?
future society?
I also think about... I think the reason we kind of feel this, like, everything's already been done, is just because of, the internet. And just, like, how accessible content is now.
It's just everywhere.
You can look up anything and find something, right?
Yeah.
Like, someone's made something like it. Whereas, if we look back, just jump back, like, 70 years, we're, like, in the 1950s, you know? Black and white movies, predominantly, like, westerns or, like, romance, maybe some, like, mystery, you know?
Right.
They didn't have... it. I think there's something to be said about, like, the scope of what they could create. Because, like, we can go on our computer and create, like, people create these insane animations and models for, like, creatures that look otherworldly. And back then, you just had to, like, stick someone in a costume. And that's why it felt like there's still so much more we could do, because, like, we're just putting someone in a costume right now.
Right.
Like, where else can we go with this? There has to be something more. Whereas now it's like, I don't know, there's another giant space alien in the sky.
And, like, I kind of, like, to kind of go into, like, cosmic horror with, like Lovecraft's work, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would, like, I don't know much about cosmic horror. It's something I've always been interested in, though, so, like, I want to actually know more about. But, like, I guarantee this idea was probably there before Lovecraft, right?
Yeah.
But, like, he's really one that, like, almost created it into a thing.
Yeah.
And, like, gave it what it is now. And now, like, we see, like, some giant space Cthulhu monster, like, oh, it's just like Cthulhu or something, right? But, like, so, like, what's next? Like I feel like there's going to be another horror genre kind of like that. That is bound to happen, right?
I wonder, something that I think, personally, is that a way people are creating more originality nowadays is by setting boundaries for their work. Because, like I said, it feels boundless in a lot of ways. And, like, that's great, but it's also a problem because, like, we watch another Marvel movie and we're like, we've kind of seen this already,
right?
You know? But I think of, like, the game Cuphead, right? Where they just went back and they did it just like they did in the 30s, you know? They hand drew all of the animation for it, and it felt so fresh and new. It felt amazing, but, like, it's not anything new. There's nothing new about it at all, because it's old, right?
It's old as
so
new.
I think one of the things that, like, creates some originality is finding ways to set bounds on what you're creating.
Right.
Because if you go too large in scope, it'll just kind of feel like all the meh that's already out there.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, even like a game like The Last of Us, you know, it's another zombie shooter game.
But what's unique is the differences in it, right?
Yeah, the story it's focused on. It's not focused on some grand, like, I mean, it kind of is a save the world story, but it's really focused on a relationship between a man who's lost his daughter and a girl who's lost everyone in her life.
And survival.
Exactly.
And even like the outbreak itself, like they tried to do something new with that, right?
Yeah.
Being like that plant-based.
Yeah. The fungal thing. Yeah. So I don't know. Just like finding ways to set bounds, I think creates more original ideas in some ways.
I like that thought.
I don't know. So I don't know where you go with that.
We spattered some thoughts out there.
Yeah, we spit them out into the void, into the collective unconscious. Let us all absorb it and do with it what we will, I guess.
Oh, but Sean, if there's a collective unconscious, fetch.
If there's a collective unconscious, then there truly is no originality. Goodness.
But does that mean if somebody has a great idea, we all have a great idea?
I guess it depends on what the collective unconscious means. Does it mean we're all like in a cloud and like if we bump into each other then we share an idea, or we all share the idea simultaneously? I don't know. I don't know that much about it, actually.
Me neither.
Surprisingly, it's not that big of a focus in my psych classes.
There's probably there could be some professor watching this, like...
It's like, I taught you everything! You're fooled! Alright, well, anything else you want to add to originality?
If you want some original merch ideas, check out the merch store in the description below.
Baby boy. Yeah, that's the stuff right there. Look at that. Look at that. You have to click on the link before. I'm not going to put it on screen. I'm not putting the merch on screen because you have to click it so you can go see it. I'm a genius. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm still Sean.
And I'm still Zach.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Spicy Nuggs, Spicy Nuggs is our friend. Spicy Nuggs, Spicy Nuggs is our friend.
It's a good dream.
Where all of us are free and live in harmony. That is the way it ought to be. I have a dream.
We're going back to 5th grade.
No, but really what I wanted to say was, there is something going on, this is going to sound bad, in my pants today.
Oh.
I was walking over here the entire way. My hair, like one of my leg hairs is snagged on my pants somehow, and it was just tugging. It's so painful. I'm hoping it just resolves itself now, but holy cow.
That's incredible. I would say that I wish it didn't happen, but then we wouldn't be having the conversation, so...
Yeah, you're right. The conversation was worth the pain. That's
every conversation with you.
You're saying it's worth it?
Those times.
Oh, wow. Well, that feels nice. I'll take it.